What's going on YouTube? JT is Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. In this video, we're going to be talking about Titans issue number 3, written by Tom Taylor, with art by Nicola Scott. And yes, this is part 3 of that Out of the Shadows storyline. Now, the main Titans book has been on a bit of a hiatus for the past 2 months. We had Night Terrors. Has the book improved since the last time I read it? And the short answer is, I do think so. I think this is the best of the 3 issues. It's more like addition by subtraction, because for one thing, there's nothing majorly like obnoxious or very cringy within this thing. You don't have some really out of character moments like Raven and Beast Boy making out in front of like hundreds of thousands of people. Just nothing like that. It's a straightforward mission. The Titans have to stop some sacrifices going on at the Church of Eternity, and that's pretty much the main gist of it. I mean, we also had that whole fiasco with Wally being kind of killed off, like a future version of him at some point dying, like in like the previous issue or whatever it was, and like now it's just the Titans dealing with the Church of Eternity, which is, you know, the Church of Blood. The Blood became Brother Eternity, all that other stuff. They have some sacrifice stuff going on. They have to kind of stop right here, and the Titans do, and they're like, well, looks like this evil cult is doing their evil things. Tempest shows up to kind of aid them, if you will, but it's more so kind of like a setup to make Brother Eternity not look as bad. He's like, oh, all this stuff is going on under my watch. I can't imagine all this horrible stuff that would have happened. But even though this guy has been very shady from the get-go, and the Titans noticeably just don't trust this guy, but they're going to let Garth kind of do his thing, and there's kind of more like interesting stuff kind of going on behind the scenes with that, if you will. And the ultimate kind of like the final page reveal I thought was actually kind of cool. It felt like straight out of like an alien invasion horror movie. So what we kind of established before is Brother Eternity wants to take people off planet Earth and move them to a new planet in his Church of Eternity, if you will. Garth is on his side, and like he seemingly is kind of brainwashed, but there's still kind of something off. The Titans can't quite figure it out. It doesn't feel like as much like Brother Blood and all that. So what we do come to find out at the end of the issue is there was something that they kept here, was like a meteor of sorts. So it seems like there's some sort of extraterrestrioal, like from my understanding, it seems that an extraterrestrial threat has inhabited the body of Brother Eternity, and he's using that to kind of control Garth, if you will. Like, look at this image right here. Like, there's actually pretty good looking artwork in here. I mean, I do think the artwork is pretty good for the most part. I do have issues with Raven's design, but her hood is kept on the whole time, so you don't really get to see that kind of pink nightmare of a haircut that she has. So like silhouette images like this do look pretty cool, and there's some gorgeous looking artwork in terms of the action and all that. And I do think the ending kind of leaves it for a bit of a nightmarish thing. I do recall Detective Comics doing something like this. I think it was under Mariko Tamaki not that long ago, with some like weird thing that's inhabiting people's bodies that's used to kind of control other things. I think it was Mariko Tamaki. I know I covered it on the channel. It was like some little like thing like internally, like a parasite that kind of latches onto people and stuff. So we got something going on like with that in terms of like Garth and all that. But you also have other plot lines in the background with like Amanda Waller and all that other stuff kind of going on at the same time. So there are different threads going on with Titans. It is still earlier on in the book, so I'm like, okay, they're kind of setting the stage for various different plot lines going on. This one is a pretty straightforward issue for the most part. There's nothing really obnoxious. There's nothing really annoying like that. Just the Titans kind of just stopping Brother Blood stuff. I mean, granted, we have seen this sort of thing before, but the thing that makes it a little bit more interesting to me is kind of the ending. So is it really the Church of Blood? And I like to imagine it's some sort of extraterrestrial threat that's using the Church of Blood as like kind of a front for something else to kind of trick people into doing something else. So like, I don't know, like I feel like it's not something demonic. I think it's probably something extraterrestrial, and the hint that kind of gives it away for me is this sort of meteorite, if you will. So I mean, why an alien would use, well, then again, if you want to brainwash people, I mean, cults are a pretty good way to do so. I mean, there's a lot of susceptible people to this sort of thing that happens like in real life and in the comic books, as we've seen before. So, but it is an interesting approach to kind of use like a bit of a well-known evil figure to kind of like manipulate people, if you will. So I mean, yeah, I mean, could they have chosen a different target? I don't know. Like I said, there's still some mystery and intrigue with that kind of has me hooked a little bit to kind of want to know where it goes on from here. So, I mean, the Titans are a little bit smarter than this. Like, they know something's up, but they're still trying to figure out exactly what. They do, I mean, like, if your best friend, like, is kind of joining, like, the cult of, the the Church of Blood, or in this case, the Church of Eternity, it still does raise a lot of red flags, and they're not going to kind of like go away from this thing. Like they do know something's off, but they're going to kind of let this thing kind of play out a little bit and just try and see what's going on here. It's got a little bit of an Invasion of the Body Snatchers kind of vibes going on with this issue, so like that at least has me a little bit intrigued to see where it's going to go from there. So yeah, I mean, in terms of the 3 comic books, or in terms of the 3 issues specifically within this run, not counting the Night Terrors, not counting like the Tales of Titans, this is probably the best one, mostly because like it's like addition by subtraction. It's a straightforward, simple story. It has a bit of an interesting hook with the ending, like kind of has me wondering what's going on here. There is some nice looking artwork. There's nothing super cringy or obnoxious in this thing. Is it like a mind-blowing story or anything like that? No, it's kind of simple and straightforward to the point, and it didn't really like upset me or anything like that. So at least, like I said, at least it's a bit more in the positive. Do I think it's amazing? No, not really. Is this an issue I'm going to want to reread over and over again? No, not really. But is it something I like think is awful or anything like that? Absolutely not. I think this is a perfectly serviceable issue of Titans, and you know what? That's a step in the right direction. So if the issues can continue to get better, then I will let you know about it. So hopefully that is the case. Hopefully it doesn't include some major cringe or anything like that. Not sure how this is going to tie into Beast World per se, but only time will tell. Maybe this is what like the big connection to it all is, or something like that. This is kind of the starting point of that, but hey, who knows? It is what it is, I suppose. But anyways, if you have read Titans issue number 3, what did you think of it? Let me know in the comment section down below. Be sure to like this video, share with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content, hit the bell for notifications, all that other fun stuff. And I got 2 more comic book reviews I'm going to get right after this one, and then we will be on our merry way. All right, well, that's all I have to say. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.